guys, I am so excited because guess who I met? Mwakazi Adventures. I am super excited. Today we are going to talk about something that is incredibly dear to my heart because, as you know, I love to talk about finances. Mwakazi, how about you introduce yourself before we start this video?
So as you heard, I'm Mwakazi Adventures. I go by so many names. So for the sake of this video, let me go as Mwakazi Adventures. And I'm passionate about finances. Not that I have so much money, but I know where I want to be, and I know an advice I can give the young people. If we can reach together where I want to reach, why not? And surprisingly, if I advise them, they might reach there before me.
Before you.
But I'm not jealous. I don't withhold information. Yeah. So let me first demystify the mistake we normally have. The current problem we have is right from our parents. What did your parents tell you? Go to school, get the best grade, get the best job. So your parent taught you to be an employee indirectly, directly or indirectly. Your parent taught you to be an employee because of the same phrase: go to school, get the best grade, get the best job. Nobody taught you to be an employer. Nobody taught you to be a self-employed. You understand? So I think that's where the problem is. But we don't blame our parents because they did what they did. They told us what they knew. And currently the world has changed. Yeah? And we have to be living at the moment. So what I know now is different from what I knew. What I would tell my kids now is different from what I was taught. You understand? So, and this is now the advice to other parents. I don't know that to call them .com parents, because that gospel of go to school, get the best grade, get the best job. Where did it take us?
Nowhere.
All of us are employees. You understand? So, and nobody thought I can create employment. Nobody went beyond the thought that actually I can be self-employed. You understand? So now I think it's important we start now teaching ourselves before we teach now our children how to change that mentality. Number one, we know about the cash flow quadrant. Cash flow quadrant is about it's a huge circle divided into 4, and all of us human beings are placed into quadrant. The first quadrant is for employees. The second quadrant under the employees is the self-employed. Both of them are on the left-hand side of the cash flow quadrant. Yeah? The circle divided into 4 into quadrants, right? So the first quadrant is for employees. Second quadrant is for the self-employed. Then on the right-hand side, we have again 2 quadrants. First quadrant is now for the business owner, and the second one is for the investors. So why is it that people operating from the right-hand side of the cash flow quadrant are the richest in the world? Those who are business owners or investors. Key: tax laws. Yeah? So you're an employee yourself. Before you earn, you're taxed, right? What's your pay as you earn? 30% or 20%?
Hey.
For a person being paid 20,000 Kenya shillings per month, 20% is 4,000. That's a lot of money.
A lot.
For a person earning more than that, again 20% or 30% again is a lot. It's a lot of money, right? So if I am deducted just from before I even earn my money, you are deducted the 30% or the 20%. That's tax number 1. I take my money to the bank, you are taxed. It stays there, you're told you have something like service charge, maintenance fee. Then you go withdraw your money, you're taxed. Over the counter, certain amount. Over the ATM, certain amount, right? That's tax number 4. Then go buy products which has a tax, VAT, 16%. What's your take home? If all those taxes amounts to more than around 50%. So your take home is 50%. For a person earning a salary of 20,000 Kenya shillings, take home is 10,000. Divide that 10,000 into rent. You have to eat. You have to. How will you survive?
I'll find
Yes.
wababas.
Now we can't survive like looking for babas to finance you.
Yes.
You understand? I think currently even men want ladies who are self-sufficient. So as when I'm coming, I'm actually adding value to you, to your life.
I'm not just, you're not just
You're not
coming.
a parasite.
Yeah.
We have more than one reason to be. You are okay. You are doing okay on your own. I'm doing okay on my own, right? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying now. That theory of go to school, get the best grade, get the best job, brought us all into employment, and that's where now like 50% of like your income is what deducted into taxes. Now when it comes to self-employed, that is the first quadrant, employees. When you go under now the self-employed, they avoid only one tax, which plays a very major role. They pay as you earn. These are not employed people, right? So they don't they're not taxed pay as you earn. You understand? And that is like 30%. You can imagine someone letting you retain 30% of your salary. If you're earning 40,000, 20% is 8,000.
20% yes.
8,000 shillings. So out of the 40,000 Kenya shillings, the government decide either to take the 8,000 from you, which is a lot of money, or they decide to, it's actually you to decide whether to retain the 8,000 or to submit the 8,000 as tax. And you make choices by what you do for a living, or what you decide. Where you decide to go employed, the 8,000 will be going to the government. You decide to be self-employed, you retain your 8,000. Understand? So I'm just using that as an example, which talks about it being a lot of money. You understand? It's a lot of money. So the first tax, pay as you earn, which is 30%, is quite a lot of money, right? Now, when you're talking about retaining that as a self-employed, you avoid the biggest tax, right? You avoid the biggest tax, which now makes you have an upper hand more than other people, right? Yeah. So you make more money. So a person who is employed making 40,000, a person who is self-employed making 40,000 a month, who has more money?
The self-employed one.
You get. So that's the difference. So again, you move from self-employed, you go to business owner. They have a lot of tax exemptions. You go to investors, they have a lot of tax exemptions. In fact, they have what you call tax waiver. Instead of you paying tax, you are waived. That's why some organizations, when they are some bosses, when they are hiring buying anything, they have to keep the receipt. Why do they keep the receipt? Because they are filing for tax return.
I never understood that. I've seen that a lot with those kind of people,
Yeah.
and I never understood why is it that they are so much into that receipt.
The
That
receipt, exactly. Even when they fuel at the fuel station,
yes.
they say, "I want the receipt." Because they go file, and they always do that under the company's name.
Yes.
When they are buying houses, they'll buy through the company because there is tax exemption. When they are buying their personal car, they'll buy through the company because tax exemption. Because companies are exempted. Sometimes because you're the employer, you've created employment, right? So as a business owner and an investor, you retain so much money. Instead of government giving you money, taking money from you, they even give you, even the small taxes you have spent, you have tax waiver, you have tax returns, refund. You get? So it becomes totally different. Unlike someone who is employed, where it's money coming out of you. So when the government talks about 3.1 trillion budget, where does that money come from?
Our taxes.
Exactly, the employees. the first quadrant only. Not so much about the second quadrant, third and fourth quadrant. You understand? So it plays a very, very big role, and I think people should open their mind up. You get it? But you see, I cannot blame them, because the gospel started with our parents. Go to school, get the best grade, get the best job. How do we change that? Change that by changing the quadrant. You're employed, right? Start something on the side, like a side hustle. They say an average millionaire, average millionaire has 7 sources of income. How many do you have?
I only have one.
So if your boss sacks you today, you are depressed, right?
Yes.
So if an average millionaire has 7 sources of income, that's an average. How about me? So it's me to change now my portfolio in terms of, okay, I have a stream of income from my employment if I'm employed. What can I do on the side so that I stop being like the main source of revenue from the government? I'm not saying it's bad, it builds economies, and that's how like countries like US have survived, because they believe in taxes. America, you cannot avoid tax.
Yes.
That's why they have the social security number. Anywhere you go, get employed. You cannot be employed without the social security number, and that's where the taxes are gotten from. You understand? So change the quadrant. You are employed. Open a small business on the side. Get your relative from the village who is jobless. Yeah, give them like an opportunity to work shortly. You are giving them maybe some small pay. You understand? So you created a revenue, another source of income. You have not only, you are now on the first quadrant, but you can choose to be on the second quadrant if you decide to employ yourself. I'm not telling you to sack your boss now, but in case you do, and you go open like a business, your business, you become self-employed. If you bring someone to work under you, you become a business owner. You go look for something else. You understand? Instead of you sitting there and now like you're generating all the money and you pay yourself, pay something, maybe a portion as a percentage. You have to pay yourself like 40,000. Get someone you can pay like 15,000, and they'll still do the same job, right? You go look for something else. If you start another business, employ someone else, you go look for something else to do. So you'll be having like so many streams of income. You start using what we call leverage. If you working 8 hours can generate yourself an income of 40,000 a month. If you employ someone else and you're giving them a salary of 15,000, working under the same 8 hours, you go look for another job. Or you open another branch, employ someone else. These are 2 people giving you 40,000 every month, that is 80,000, and you're giving them 15. You understand? So you are leveraging 4 people working for you, same 8 hours, but they're all of them giving you revenue. They're giving you an income. So you become a business owner. As a self-employed, if I have to go somewhere, I have to close my business. I don't have anyone to live from it. But if I have employed, as a business owner, I've employed people, I can travel the world. And my dream is to travel the world. I travel the world and I have my income coming. Understand? Yes. People are working for me, and that's why we say money starts working for you. So currently you're working for money. You get? But if you put up an investment and you employ someone there, it's now your money working for you. Money brings you income, however small or however big, it's still something extra. So it's the only time you can eventually, you can imagine now you have businesses giving you more money than you're getting from employment. You'll fire your boss. I'm giving you my 8 hours. You pay me like 40,000. My businesses are giving me 80,000. You understand?
Doesn't make sense.
Let me resign from here, put more effort, more hours on my business so that I can generate more for myself. You You understand? So the young people, most of us, come out from colleges and university with the same mentality of we were given, go to school, get the best grade, get the best job. There are no jobs. What do? You understand? But now we have two. There's a game we used to play a long time ago called Game of Life. In the Game of Life, we normally have like two choices. One path will take you to university and colleges, and you'll spend some years in them, like we normally do. If you're doing medicine, you'll spend 6 years. Other careers, you'll spend maybe 4 to 3 years, right? But now we have someone who, after high school, will go into business. What will happen?
Lessons, growth, more money.
Thank you. That's when you realize street smart always outdo school smart.
Absolutely, all the time.
The people who got B in school, currently they are the HRs, right? They only help you. They help the people who got A's to get jobs from the people who got C. You are getting
I
the
am
analog.
heartbroken.
No, it's the reality.
But it's the reality, yes.
You understand?
Yes.
It's the reality. The people who got B's and C's help the people who got A to get jobs from the people who got D's and C's.
Yes.
Because the person who got a D was like, I feel I'm a failure. I have to rectify my life. Let me start a small business here. It grows. Like I said, you start a shoe place, like you're selling shoes. Employ someone from the village who is jobless. Give them some small salary, which is still okay with them. Give them some small salary, and you go and open another stall somewhere else. Another stall. Eventually, you are making maybe 20,000 from this stall. Another 20, another 20, another 20. What will happen? You'll keep growing and you'll keep increasing. Now from the stalls, maybe you put up something bigger. You will require like the CEO, the managers. Now that's when you employ those who got the A's and the B's to manage your business. There's a person who really inspires me, and at one point was the President of America, Donald Trump. Now Donald Trump had come up with something we used to call, not a game, like a competition. So what he used to do, as I remember the name, he used to get people like CEOs from various companies, gives you like challenges and tasks. Whoever manages, whoever succeeded in those tasks and more like a competition, whoever wins, he employs you to manage his businesses. So you see, this guy was very sharp.
Very brilliant person.
All the CEOs, there's the name of that show. So yeah, guys, I'll remember right now, by the way.
Yes.
Get top CEOs in various companies, tell them to come join this competition, then give them tasks. Whoever wins, of course you are employed by him, you make so much money, but the majority you are making for whom? Idiot.
Oh my goodness.
He was using other people's brain to enrich himself. Yes. I'll remember that name.
Please do.
Yes. Because it was I used to follow it a lot. You could see people with their, cracking their brains. Whoever wins is employed by Trump. So Trump used to employ the best.
He never picked averages.
Yes.
That is giving me goosebumps, literally.
Yeah, I've remembered. The Apprentice.
As a child, I can remember, but I never understood.
Yeah. So Donald Trump came up with that game called the Apprentice. So used to get the CEOs, give them tasks, give them like competition. Whoever wins, you are employed into his. So he was just making his company. So if you never watched the Apprentice, you can go back and watch. Now you'll understand what Donald Trump was doing. Understand? So what is like a level of education? I don't know much, but what I know, rich people like Bill Gates.
It's passion, it's interest.
You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, you look at the history of the 10 richest people in the world. None of them will tell you that actually they got it from school. None of them. Actually, I got an A. Nope. Understand? People like Richard Branson, the owner of Virgin Tours, the tour line in South Africa. Virgin Airline. We have Virgin Active. He's super rich. What was he? A newspaper vendor. You understand? So, coming locally here, we have people like Njenga Karome, who was standard 4 dropout, class 4 dropout, Njenga Karome, and he used to sell charcoal. Look at his history. We have like people like Chris Kirubi. Go look at how much he got from me. He didn't get an A. He didn't get an A minus or a B plus. But that's the guy who was like running the economy of this country. You understand? So there is nowhere academics relates to you being rich.
Yes. And you're not telling people to wakata shule.
I'm not telling them. Actually, you need the financial literacy because also yourself, you also need to employ someone who is like education, like literacy. You understand? But now we're talking about the richest people, even here in Kenya right now. All the rich people, and it sucks to think about people who are taught nothing in relation to academic. Then you want me to force my child to get an A? We can't all of us get A's, right?
Can't, yes.
So the best I can do is teach my son to be the best, and I'll now, like everywhere you go, the government is there trying to squeeze like through taxes. The same way we normally say, a lion has a right to eat a gazelle. A gazelle has a right to run away, not to be eaten by. Both of them are put in the same.
Let me laugh.
Why are you laughing?
That's really funny, but it makes sense.
You understand? By creation, a lion has a right. How do they survive? By eating the gazelle. Gazelle has a right to run away, not to be eaten by. And the lion will not run after the fastest. They will run after the slowest. They'll pick from a group who is the slowest, and they'll be like, let me go with this one. They take a corner, I take a corner. Take a corner, I take a corner. So the slowest in any community will always
Suffer.
So it's us, the youth, to think about, okay, how do we change our lives? Without talking about, oh, we have to be employed, I have to look for a better job. You are going into the same tax trap.
It's the same cycle.
A vicious cycle.
Yeah.
You understand? So I don't know, but we need to change that mentality.
The thing is, I've been wondering, because I've seen it and I have this interest of becoming financially literate, first of all. Because if I am given 100,000 today and I don't have the knowledge, the know-how of how to maintain that money, I will misuse that money.
It will evaporate.
Yes. So I've been interested in knowing, in trying to understand how do the wealthy, the rich evade taxes rightfully, lawfully.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And at some point I just got overwhelmed with all the information, and now you explaining it, I am like, we need people
know
like
the tax
you
laws. They
to
know
come
the
out
tax laws.
exactly to give us that knowledge, because we are stuck in the same cycle as our parents and their parents, because we don't have the information, we don't know.
And you see, I only have that information because I chose the rich to be my friend. Because if you walk with 9 rich people, you'll be the 10th one. If you walk with 9 poor people, you'll be the 10th one.
Absolutely.
Who are you walking with? You
Don't
understand?
embarrass
No,
me.
I'm not embarrassing
But
you.
no, I get
okay,
it.
it's not an answer. I don't want you to answer it right here. But I'm saying, who do you associate yourself with? You understand? You see, when you're going for a walk with someone, 2 things might happen. Either you adjust to their pace, or they adjust to your pace. When I'm meeting these financially literate people, I have to elevate my game. So that when you're seated down talking, I'm not bringing rubbish on the table. You understand?
Yes.
And because for them to like engage me or to have me as part of their friends, I have to be on the same wavelength with them. So I have to fine tune my mind financially. Physically, I may not look like money, but mentally, so someone gives me like $1 million now, tomorrow I'm a billionaire because I know what to do with that money. You understand? And someone who doesn't know what to do with money, they land into a lottery and win some money. Tomorrow it's done because they didn't know what to do with that money. They bought cars, which is a liability. Nobody thought about putting up an asset. Yeah, a good asset. That will be a discussion on a different day. Differentiate between liabilities and assets. So we need to change this mentality, and it starts with us. Yes. So the advice I get from my mentors, it's the same advice I would like to share with my friends, because what the rich know and what the poor know, world apart. What the rich will teach. You've read a book about Rich Dad Poor Dad? Now the only way Robert Kiyosaki became rich was because he befriended the friend who came from a wealthy family. Because Robert Kiyosaki, the dad was poor, but he was friend to the friend, the dad was rich. And the good thing is Robert Kiyosaki stuck. The friendship stuck. The same way I said, you walk with 9 poor people, you'll be the same one. Now Robert Kiyosaki used to learn a lot what rich dad is telling the son and what his poor dad was telling him. Totally different gospel. You understand? So like they could go every time rich dad used to have an interviewing now the people who have brought their A's on the the degrees and the diplomas. When every time they used to he used to have interviews, he used to call these 2 friends, the 2 children, because by extension now he took up Robert Kiyosaki, who came from a poor dad, as part of his child. By extension, because you are a friend to my son. So Robert Kiyosaki is here. The rich dad is here interviewing someone for a job. Then Robert Kiyosaki is put here. On the other side is the friend, who is now the son to the rich dad. You understand? And they could they're just there to look, not to talk, not to do anything. So after the interview, the dad does the interview and all that. After the interview is done, either that guy has a job or not. And worse is when they tell you, don't call us, we will call you. You know you don't have a job right here, right? So after the interviewer is gone, interviewee. After the interviewee is gone, the dad could turn to the kids and ask them, which side of the table do you want to be? Understand? So, and what the rich dad used to teach the child was totally different from what Robert Kiyosaki used to be taught. So he, because he wanted to be rich, he just had to follow the friend throughout. He used to spend most of the time with the rich dad, the friend's dad, you understand? And by extension, that's how he got where he is now. You understand? So, who are your friends? Who are my friends? You understand? If my friends will be like, oh, the way they normally say in Kiswahili, niko na mpango, like I have a plot. And the plot is what? We go drink somewhere, or we go somewhere. Bottom line, we are not like going to add value to ourselves. We're going to, if it's finances, we're going to reduce our finances. Maybe I've taken alcohol. I've bought alcohol. That money I could have spent elsewhere. You understand? But I've bought alcohol, and once I consume it, I'll be high for some time. I'm happy. But after the alcohol sinks down, I'm back to the same reality. With lesser money. You get?
Yes.
With less. So when people are like, no, I take alcohol just because I have stress. Seriously?
That's not the
Does
solution.
not exactly doesn't make sense. You're adding problem to problem. You didn't have. You're spending money you don't have on things you don't need to impress people you don't love.
And people who actually don't even know you.
Exactly. So me, I've never drunk. I have nothing against people who drink, but I'm always with them. But I'm with them for a reason, and a season. But bottom line is, this is my choice, and I want to be financially literate because I want to change my life. Yeah? So the youth out there, best advice is you can change your life by thinking outside the box. I don't know which box, but outside the box. Whatever box, thinking outside the box. Yeah. My 2-minute sense, was it 2 minutes?
Your 2 cents.
Oh, my 2, yeah.
Thank you so much, Mwakazi. I'm really intrigued, and you have
Opened a Pandora box.
Yes. I have to, in as much as getting the knowledge. I always say this to my audience. You knowing all these things, but then you do nothing. You never acting about it. Changes nothing.
Exactly.
So I think I'm going to look for you so that you can tell me more, and I would look forward
to become wealthy together.
Yes, I mean,
I'll be happy, by the way. Let me tell you, and that's why I envy so many rich. I have so many good rich people, and there's one thing I normally see from them. If one of them is sick, everybody who is going to see, of course, everybody has to visit them in hospital. Everybody who is going to visit them goes with 100,000 Kenya shillings. You can imagine you are in your hospital bed, but you have like 3 million which has just come, or 4 million. So the hospital bills will not be an issue to you. You will not spend your wealth to cater for hospital bills. You get? So your wealth is safeguarded right there. You understand? But the rest of us, what normally happens, you fall sick, call for Harambe, and people will disappear. You understand? So by the time everybody is doing 100,000, that's little, that's a grain. You understand? But that teaches me a lot. That actually pulling together, staying together means a lot. And they say people are money. Yeah? People are money. The more people you know, sometimes the more money you have, because you'll get information you didn't know. You understand? It's your network.
Yes.
You understand? So if people I associate myself with, maybe by them helping me a little, they'll go bankrupt. Those are not my friends. By me helping them, I'll go bankrupt. Then
you're not our friend. You're not my
understand?
friend. Yes.
I should be able to bail them out, and I'm still okay. Knowing tomorrow they are back on their feet. And that's why sometimes going up alone, my friend, when you fall, the people you left down there will just scatter and let you fall with a thump. But when you go up with people, you can never fall. Because by then you're just stepping down a little, you have people to support you. You understand?
Wow, I'm not letting you go because I'm a lover of information. I love to be knowledgeable, and I don't want to be the one that thinks I am better or I'm doing something different and I am trying, yet my friends here, they're even worse. Getting better means my friends are going to get better, my other friends are going to get better.
Your circle of friends.
Yes. There is so much information that you've given us in a matter of less than 30 minutes. And honestly, I am humbled, and I know for sure my audience is going to appreciate that. Guys, if you want him to come back to our channel to talk more on finances, please
comment,
let us know. Also guys, I will make sure I leave the link to his channel on my description box so that you guys can go and stalk him, interact with him, become part of his
audience. See what I do.
He does.
I love traveling.
Yes, he does content mostly on traveling. He encourages people on nutrition, right?
Nutrition, fitness, all
Yes,
that.
yes. So please, guys, don't disappoint me. Do not embarrass me. You know, right here in this channel, we make sure we go there and show our love and show our support. If you want him to come back as well, don't hesitate.
Comment on down there.
Yes.
Comment.
Because there is a lot of noise where we are, and somehow we can't continue with this conversation because the noise is too much, and also you can't tell people, oh, you know, we need some space. That cannot happen. So thank you so much, Mwakazi. I really appreciate your that information. It's a very important information, especially for us, because for me, I always say this, I want to be the last person in my generation to ever go through what I am going through. My parents went through whatever they went through, and they tried. Like you said, we're not blaming them. Their parents went through whatever they did, and that is all they knew. But now that I am privileged to be in this era, to get information, to be able to meet people like you, how about I just grab you with my two hands and utilize you, maximize you, leverage
misuse me, abuse me. Okay.
No, I don't want to abuse
positively,
you.
I'm talking about.
Of course, and become the best version of myself. Because in this channel also we talk about becoming. Our mission is becoming the best version of ourselves.
Exactly.
Making sure we break the habit of being ourselves.
Yes.
So thank you so much. We really do appreciate.
You're welcome. And just on a parting shot, I'm learning a lot, as I'm also trying to teach a lot.
Of course.
Because you teach best what you need to learn most.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah? So every time I talk about something, it reminds me, hey, you have to be a good example.
Yes.
You speak this, you have to act this.
Exactly.
So it's keeping me on my
your
toes.
Yeah. Oh,
So I'm happy when you talk this. I'm happy to come back here again and
Please,
talk about.
you're most welcome. I definitely am going to invite you for a second, third, and fourth, and even 10th
And we
time.
should be seated so that I can have a cup of tea.
Next time, right? It's gonna happen, I promise you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And until the next one, guys, go out, be the best version of yourself that you've always wanted to be.